Hello, how are you? My name is Saul. I'm a mortgage broker. I'm based in Sydney, but I can serve anyone anywhere in Australia. Today, I'm going to talk about what is the borrowing power and how to maximize it in 2021. Okay. This is not a financial advice. I love sharing everything I know with you guys. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Okay. Okay. The first one of the first thing to increase your borrowing power is reduce your credit card limit. Okay, because your borrowing power will be reduced by 7 times the limit. Okay, example, if you have 10,000 limit credit card and balance is 0, even if the balance is 0, your borrowing power reduced by 7 times 10,000, so 70,000. That's a lot. Okay, in hot market you need maximum borrowing power. Okay, and choose the right lender. Okay, there's like 60 lenders out there and you don't have time and energy to go through all of them. Okay, even if two people have the same job, their situation is different. Okay, because other things are different, like deposit, how long they've been in the job, their insecure loan, their everything, their visa, their age. So, and bank policies are different. So just come to someone like me, mortgage broker. We don't charge you a cent. We connect you to the right lender who will lend you highest amount. Okay, okay, so that's the second thing. And the third thing is, if you want to increase your borrowing power, then have more deposit. Okay, the higher the deposit, the lower the interest rate. That's why the higher the borrowing power. Okay, that's if you can, but first home buyer is a little bit hard, so that doesn't increase your borrowing power too much. Okay, so first home buyer, don't worry about too much. If you got 5 to 6% deposit, come to us. Okay, we can help you buy first home. Okay, okay. And also, if you increase your long term is usually 30 years. If you increase it to 35, 40 years, that also increase your borrowing power. Especially if you first home buyer or you are younger, then you should have a home loan, 35 or 40 years term loan. Doesn't matter how long it is, as long as you do regular extra repayment, you will reduce how many years you take to pay off the loan. That's for sure. But you have to do regular extra repayments. Okay. Okay, if you have any HECS or HELP loan, please pay it off if you can, or reduce the even if you reduce the limit, still borrowing power reduced by a lot, even if you have a small balance, because the bank look at the threshold depending on your salary. It doesn't look at your balance. So it's best if you can pay it off. Okay, HECS or HELP. Okay, any other unsecured loan like car loan, personal loan, your borrowing power will be reduced by 7 times the limit of those loans, even if the balance is 0. Okay, so close them if you can. Okay, so if you share other property with other people, then you might be liable for the whole loan instead of half of the loan. Example, you and your friend have 800,000 loan. You only own half, so you only should be liable for 400,000. But most of the bank don't work that way. Okay, depending on who you have your first loan with, so you should be careful when you have a property share. when you have a loan with somebody, you share the property value, you should be careful, okay? Because you could be liable for the whole loan only if you, even if you own only half of the property, okay? And also, if you have a de facto relationship or husband or wife, and you only want to buy in your name, not both name, then don't think all banks only take your living expense. They take both of you living expense. So you should go to the bank who take into account common debt reducer. So if you live with someone else and the other person is not part of the loan, only your living expense should be your living expense, not both people, okay? But all banks don't accept, only some bank. That's why you should talk to us. We don't charge you a cent, and that's why when you want a home loan, you should come to us. We know which bank. If you live with somebody and you only buy in your name, and the other person have a job, they can pay for their living expenses, we can take you to the bank, you know, which only consider your living expense, not your wife or husband, you know, if you buy property only under your name. So please come to us if you want a home loan, and in that situation we don't charge you a cent, okay? Okay, if you got second job, and if you want, and that could increase borrowing power, but you should be working in that job as casual 6 months minimum, 24 months self-employed, okay? Okay, and you should also take care of your living expenses. The higher the living expenses, the lower your borrowing power, okay? Okay, I hope this video helped you and your friend and relative. If it does, I ask you to please like and share it. All my contact details are in the post. Okay, may you have a blessed night. Good day tomorrow. May you be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank you very much.